The body arrived at 2:17. No ID. No phone. No paperwork. Lena Morris stood at the intake desk while the stretcher rolled past her, wheels rattling on uneven tiles. The paramedic avoided eye contact. "Name?" Lena asked. The man shook his head. "Unclaimed." "That's not a name. It's what we got." The stretcher disappeared behind double doors. Lena typed unknown and hesitated before hitting enter. The system lagged. Then accepted it. At 2:19, another stretcher arrived. Different body. Same label. Lena looked at the screen. 2 entries. Same timestamp. Same note. Unclaimed. She turned to the paramedic. "You're logging them twice." The man wiped rain from his face. "We don't log anything," he said. "We just deliver." A nurse passed behind Lena, whispering, "Night shift again?" Lena watched the doors close. Outside, sirens faded without urgency. At 2:23, the system auto-filled a discharge time. No cause of death. No investigation flag. Lena didn't touch the keyboard. She let the screen breathe. When she checked again, both entries were gone. Evan Pike leaned against the security booth wall, watching headlights smear across wet asphalt. His radio crackled once, then went silent. "Gate C clear," he said anyway. No response. He checked the log. 3 incidents marked as resolved. He hadn't written any of them. A black sedan rolled into the lot and stopped too close to the booth. The window lowered halfway. "Is the hospital taking transfers?" the driver asked. Evan glanced at the badge clipped to his jacket. "Depends who's asking." The driver smiled thinly. "Someone already processed." Evan stepped back. "We don't process without paperwork." The driver's smile didn't move. "Tonight you do." The radio crackled again. A voice cut through. "Evan, let them through." Evan pressed the transmit button. "Who is this?" Static. Then silence. He lifted the gate. The sedan passed, trunk low, suspension strained. As it disappeared, Evan noticed something wrong. The log updated itself. Incident resolved. 2:11. Evan hadn't been on shift at 2:11. Caleb Ross wiped the inside of his windshield with his sleeve. Rain distorted the city into streaks. "You sure about this stop?" he asked. The woman in the back seat didn't answer. She stared out at the river. Caleb slowed near the bridge. No request on the app. No fare ticking. "That's off route," he said. The woman leaned forward. "Everyone goes off route at night." Caleb pulled over. The meter never started. When he turned to ask for payment, the seat was empty. The door stood open. Caleb got out, shoes splashing. "Hey!" No response. Only the river and traffic passing too fast. Back in the cab, his tablet pinged. "Trip completed. Fare, 0. Caleb scrolled. The trip didn't exist. He checked his dash cam. The footage jumped from pickup to drop-off. The middle was gone. Caleb whispered, "That's not how this works." His phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number: "Night trips don't leave receipts." Caleb started the engine and drove. He didn't look back at the river. Nina Holt stood outside the police station with a photo folded in her coat pocket. Her sister's face stared back at her, frozen in daylight. The desk officer glanced at the photo. "Missing persons is upstairs." "They sent me down here," Nina said. The officer shrugged. "No open file." "There should be," Nina replied. "She didn't come home." The officer typed her sister's name. Paused. Typed again. "That's odd," he muttered. Nina leaned forward. "What?" The officer turned the screen slightly. "Your sister is listed as unclaimed." Nina laughed once. "That's not possible." The officer cleared his throat. "Time of record, 2:14. That was last night." "Yes. And the body?" The officer closed the tab. There is no body. Nina pulled the photo from her pocket and placed it on the counter. That's her. The officer didn't touch it. You should go home, he said. Nina didn't move. Outside, the rain started again. Lena went back to the intake bay at 3:04. The gurney tracks were still wet. A strip of tape marked the floor where the body had stopped. Someone had already peeled the tape, leaving a pale scar. She found the paramedic near the vending machines, shaking rain off his jacket. "Wait," she said. He looked up, tired. "Lady, I'm done." "You brought 2, Lena said. 2 unclaimed in 6 minutes. The man's jaw tightened. "We bring what we're told to bring." "Who tells you?" He stared at the vending glass like it could answer for him. "Dispatch." Lena stepped closer. "What channel?" He didn't reply. Lena lowered her voice. "I can pull the radio logs." The man's mouth opened, then shut. He glanced down the corridor, then back at her. "Don't," he said. "Not at night." Lena watched his hands. His knuckles had a faint line of ink, like a stamp that didn't wash out. "What's that?" she asked. He pulled his hand into his sleeve. "Paperwork," he muttered. "Old habit." Lena didn't let it go. "You didn't touch paperwork." The man's eyes sharpened. "Night shift has its own paperwork," he said. A pause. "If you see a thin folder, don't open it." Lena blinked. "What folder?" He shook his head once, hard, like stopping himself. Then he walked away without buying anything. Lena stood alone by the vending machines. Behind her, the intake doors opened and closed. Normal sounds. Normal rhythm. But the floor tape scar looked fresh, like something had been removed on purpose. Evan drove to Gate C early and parked where the cameras didn't fully cover. Rain slid down the booth window in thick lines. His radio stayed quiet, too quiet. A black sedan returned. Same shape. Same low stance. This time it didn't stop at the booth. It rolled straight toward the service ramp. Evan stepped out and raised his hand. The sedan stopped. The window lowered. Same driver. "You again," Evan said. The driver's smile stayed thin. "You let us through last time. I didn't know what you were carrying." The driver tilted his head. "Do you want to know?" Evan's throat tightened. He kept his voice flat. "I want paperwork." The driver tapped the steering wheel once. "Paper doesn't matter at night." Evan moved closer and looked past the driver, toward the back seat. It was empty. "Pop the trunk," Evan said. The driver laughed softly, like it was a misunderstanding. "Not your role." Evan's radio crackled. A voice came through, low and clean. "Step away, Evan." Evan pressed transmit. "Who is this?" Static, then a second voice layered under it, faint. "Resolved." Evan stared at the radio. The driver watched him enjoy the confusion. Evan took one more step toward the sedan. The driver's hand went to the glove box, slow, deliberate. Not reaching for a weapon. Reaching for a folder. A thin gray folder, edges perfect. Evan's chest tightened. He saw the label for half a second. Night shift files. Then the glove box shut. The sedan rolled forward, gentle as a decision. Evan didn't chase it. He stood in rain and listened to his radio return to silence. Caleb tried to force the receipts back into existence. He parked under a streetlight and reopened his app history. Nothing. He searched bank notifications. No charge. No ping. No trace. His dash cam was still recording, red light steady. He pulled the memory card and slid it into his phone adapter. The file opened. The pickup time existed. The drop-off time existed. The middle was static. Not broken static. Clean static, like a curtain. Caleb rewound. A single frame appeared between the static lines. A face in the back seat. Not the woman he'd picked up. A man's face, pale, eyes open, looking directly at the lens. Too close. Too aware. Caleb dropped the phone. It hit the seat and kept playing. He picked it up again, thumb shaking. The frame was gone. The static smoothed out. Now it looked like rain. Caleb's phone buzzed with another unknown message, "Don't rewind night footage." Caleb typed, "Who are you?" He deleted it. Typed again. Deleted again. He started the engine and drove toward the bridge. He didn't know why, only that the river felt like the center of it. At a red light, a man crossed in front of his cab holding a thin gray folder. The man didn't look up. The folder stayed tucked under his arm like a lunch bag. Caleb leaned forward, breath fogging the glass. He couldn't see the label, but the folder's edge was too clean for a rainy street. The light turned green. The man vanished into the crowd. Caleb followed, then lost him at the corner. Only the rain stayed. Nina found the address on a community board post. A reply under her missing notice: "Go to River Road before dawn. Ask for the list." She printed it and folded it tight. At 4:12, she waited under the bridge where the air smelled of water and metal. A man approached from the service stairs, hood up, hands empty. "You Nina?" he asked. She held up her sister's photo. "I want her back." The man glanced at the photo and didn't touch it. "She's already in the system." Nina's jaw clenched. "I don't care what you call it." The man's eyes shifted toward the river. "Night shift keeps the city clean," he said. "Sometimes it cleans the wrong person." Nina stepped closer. "Who runs it?" The man shook his head. "Doesn't matter." "It matters to me," Nina snapped. The man leaned in, voice lower. "People who keep lists," he said. "People who stamp paper." A pause. "You can fight it, but you need a name." Nina breathed through her nose. "Give me the name." The man hesitated, then said it like it hurt his tongue. "Cole." Nina stared. "Martin Cole?" The man nodded once. "He's not a killer," he added. "He's worse. He makes sure the night finishes." Nina felt the words land. "What do I do?" The man's hand lifted, pointing at the archway under the bridge. "Don't go alone," he said. "And if you see a folder, don't open it." Nina watched him walk away. When she looked down, a card lay on the wet concrete by her shoe. No number. Just 2 words printed clean, attendance recorded. Lena found the file by accident. She was searching for a discharge summary when the system opened a folder she hadn't clicked. The header read, "Night shift files." Inside were names. Dozens. Some marked closed. Some marked pending. One name pulsed faintly. Lena Morris. She froze. The timestamp showed 2:31. Status, processed. Lena backed away from the screen. A nurse bumped into her. "Sorry." Lena pointed at the monitor. "That name." The nurse squinted. "I don't see anything." The screen went blank. Later, in the break room, Lena dialed a number she barely remembered. "Evan? It's Lena. We met during the fire drill." A pause. "I think something's wrong with the records." Evan didn't ask which records. He said, "You two?" They agreed to meet before sunrise. Neither of them slept. The 4 of them stood under the bridge as the city lightened. Lena. Evan. Caleb. Nina. No greetings. No explanations. Nina held up her sister's photo. "She's already dead on paper." Caleb checked his tablet. "My trips disappear." Evan showed his log. "Incidents I didn't handle." Lena took a breath. "There's an archive. Night shift only." They fell silent as a patrol car passed. It didn't slow. "Someone's cleaning the city," Caleb said. Nina snapped, "People aren't trash." Lena's phone buzzed. A notification. Status updated. She turned the screen to them. Her name. Now marked closed. Evan swore. "What happens when it closes?" The answer came from behind them. "Nothing," a voice said. "That's the point." They turned. A man stood near the embankment, holding a thin folder. "Martin Cole," Before sunrise, Lena met Evan in a hospital stairwell that smelled of bleach and damp coats. Evan kept his voice low. I saw the folder. Lena's eyes tightened. You did too? Caleb arrived late, shaking rain off his jacket like he'd run the whole way. I got messages, he said. Someone's deleting my trips. Nina appeared last, eyes fixed, face dry. Cole, she said immediately. That's the name. Lena didn't ask how. She just nodded once, like accepting a diagnosis. Evan looked at the stairwell camera above the door. It didn't blink. It just watched. We can't talk here, he said. They moved to the loading corridor behind radiology. Empty at night, full of echoes. Caleb whispered, so what do we do? Go to the police? Nina's laugh was thin. They told me there's no file. Lena pulled her phone out and opened the hospital system. Her hands hovered. Let's make the system show its hand, she said. Evan leaned closer. Don't. Lena typed her own name into the search bar. Nothing. She typed night shift files. The screen stuttered. Then a folder appeared for a fraction of a second. A list. Names. Times. Statuses. Then it vanished. Caleb grabbed Lena's wrist, too hard. You saw that? Lena pulled free. Yes. Nina's voice was calm now, dangerous calm. Then we go where it lives, she said. We go to the archive. Evan's radio crackled once, like it had been listening. A voice came through, faint. Attendance recorded. Evan shut the radio off. It turned back on by itself. They didn't reach the archive directly. A city maintenance van blocked the service street, hazard lights blinking. Two men in reflective jackets stood beside it, faces turned away. Evan slowed the car. That's not maintenance, he said. One man stepped into their path and raised a hand. His glove was clean despite the rain. Road closed, the man said. Nina leaned forward. Closed by who? The man didn't answer. He stared at Lena in the passenger seat, eyes sliding over her like a scanner. Lena's phone buzzed. A notification she hadn't set. Status change. She flipped it toward them. Her name appeared. Now marked, pending. Caleb's face went tight. That means. Evan cut him off. It means they noticed. The second maintenance man walked closer and set a thin grey folder on the hood of their car. No rush. No threat. Just placement. The label faced upward. Night shift files. Lena's breath shortened. Nina reached for it. Evan slapped her hand away. Don't touch it. The maintenance man spoke softly. Touching confirms, he said. Nina stared at him. Confirms what? The man's mouth barely moved. That you're cooperating with the process. Caleb whispered, Who are you? The man didn't answer. He tapped the folder once with a gloved finger, then stepped back. Evan threw the car into reverse and spun the wheel. The folder slid off the hood and fell into a puddle. It didn't get wet. They sped away while the hazard lights kept blinking behind them, steady as a heartbeat. They cut through a parking structure and abandoned the car on level 3. Evan led them down a stairwell marked authorized only. The door at the bottom should have been locked. It opened. A corridor ran under the street, concrete walls sweating. A municipal tunnel that didn't appear on any map. Caleb's phone lost signal. Nina's screen showed no service. Lena's phone showed full bars, then none, then full again. Stop checking, Evan said. They followed the tunnel until they reached a steel door. A small keypad beside it. No brand. Nina tried to pull the handle. It didn't move. Lena stepped closer. There was a card reader. She raised her hospital badge. The reader beeped green. The door clicked. Caleb stared at her. Why would your badge open this? Lena didn't answer. She pushed the door. Inside, the air smelled of paper and cold fans. Rows of cabinets. Labels. A low hum like servers. and on a table in the center, a stack of thin gray folders. Dry. Perfect. Waiting. Nina whispered, "This is where the city keeps night." A light above the table flickered once, then steadied. Behind the cabinets, a soft sound. A drawer sliding shut. Someone was already there. Martin Cole didn't step closer. "You shouldn't be here," Nina said. Cole nodded slightly. "You're already here?" Lena asked, "What is this?" Cole opened the folder. Maintenance. Evan laughed, sharp. "You kill people?" Cole shook his head. "No. I finish what the night starts." Caleb stepped forward. "You marked us dead." Cole corrected him. "Processed." Nina's voice trembled. "So we're next?" Cole glanced at the river. "The list fills every night." Lena asked, "How do we get off it?" Cole closed the folder. "Someone else takes your place." Silence settled. Evan said, "That's not how life works." Cole replied, "It's how the city works." Behind them, the river carried debris downstream. None of it came back. The first thing to fail was emergency services. Evan cut his arm on a broken gate hinge. Blood soaked his sleeve. Lena drove him to the hospital. The doors didn't open. A voice from the intercom said, "Please state your name." Evan did. Silence. "Try again," Lena urged. "Evan Pike." The intercom clicked off. They drove to another hospital. Same response. Caleb called an ambulance. The call never connected. Nina stared at her phone. No signal. Evan wrapped his arm tighter. "They're not ignoring us," he said. "They don't see us." Lena checked her phone. Her status changed again. Archived. She dropped the phone. Evan moved first, hand raised to keep them quiet. They walked between cabinets, footsteps swallowed by carpet that shouldn't exist underground. A figure stood at the far end of the room, back turned. Thin coat. Neat collar. Martin Cole didn't turn immediately. He finished aligning a folder with the edge of the table. Then he faced them. No surprise. No irritation. Only recognition. "You weren't invited," Cole said. Nina stepped forward. "My sister." Cole nodded once. "Unclaimed. She has a name?" Cole's eyes stayed calm. "Names at daytime," he said. "At night, the city uses categories." Caleb's voice came out rough. "You erased my trips." Cole corrected him. "They were never issued," he said. "Night movement doesn't receive receipts." Lena held up her phone. "My status keeps changing." Cole glanced at it without interest. "Pending," he said. "That's still flexible." Evan's jaw tightened. "Flexible how?" Cole opened a drawer and removed a stamp. He held it up for them to see. Dry rubber. No ink. "Flexible until stamped," Cole replied. Nina's hands shook. "So you decide who disappears?" Cole shook his head once. "No." He placed the stamp down carefully. "The night decides." "I complete." Caleb swallowed. "And if we refuse?" Cole's voice stayed even. "Refusal is a category," he said. "And categories still get processed." The cabinets hummed. The air felt colder. Cole looked past them, toward the door they came through. "You have limited minutes," he said. "Before the room closes you for me." The door behind them clicked. A lock engaging. Evan spun and pulled. It didn't move. Lena stepped toward the table. "Show me the list," she said. Cole slid a folder across the surface. It stopped exactly at Lena's fingertips. Lena opened it. 4 names. Their names. Statuses beside each: Lena Morris, pending. Evan Pike, pending. Caleb Ross, pending. Nina Holt, pending. Under Nina's name, a second line appeared as if typed in real time: replacement required. Nina's throat tightened. "What does that mean?" Cole didn't answer immediately. He watched the folder like it was a living thing. "It means the system won't delete a line," Cole said. It will trade it. Evan leaned in. Trade with who? Cole's gaze lifted, calm and precise. With someone you can live without. The cabinet lights flickered. A low alarm tone started somewhere deeper in the archive. Caleb backed away. We need to leave. Cole looked at the ceiling, listening. Too late to leave clean, he said. You can leave, though. A pause. One of you can. Nina stared at the folder, then at Lena, then at Evan, then at Caleb. Her breathing changed, shallow and fast. Lena pushed the folder back across the table. No. Cole's tone didn't change. The night shift must finish, he said. And the list must balance. The alarm tone grew louder. The room wasn't threatening them with violence. It was threatening them with procedure. Cole lifted the stamp. He didn't bring it down. He waited. The choice was already being written. They ran. Through alleys. Through parking structures. Through a service entrance Caleb remembered from a night fair. The municipal archive sat below street level. Lights flickered. Nina kicked the door until it opened. Inside, rows of cabinets hummed softly. Cole's voice echoed from the stacks. You're making it harder. Evan shoved a cabinet. Folders spilled out. Names. Dates. Times. Caleb grabbed one. His name stared back at him. Nina screamed. Change it. Cole stepped into view. You can't erase, he said. Only replace. Lena backed toward the exit. Then take me, she said. Evan grabbed her arm. No. The lights flickered again. The system recalibrated. Cole watched them calmly. Choose quickly. Footsteps echoed above. Security. The city was closing in. Nina made the choice. She pulled her sister's photo from her pocket and slid it into an open folder. Her own name appeared where her sister's had been. The system chimed. Status updated. Cole nodded once. Accepted. Evan shouted, stop. But the cabinet sealed. The lights steadied. Nina looked at them. Her face was calm. I'm already here, she said. She shouldn't be. Security burst in. They passed through Nina like she wasn't there. Lena reached out. Her hand met air. Nina stepped back into the stacks. Her outline faded. The archive quieted. The night resumed. Morning arrived like nothing had happened. Ambulances responded. Logs worked. Doors opened. Evan's arm healed. Caleb's trips returned. Lena's phone showed active. Only one folder remained closed. They met one last time by the river. No one spoke. A patrol car passed. The officer waved. Caleb broke the silence. We should leave. Evan nodded. Lena stared at the water. Something surfaced briefly. A photograph. Wet. Unclaimed. Then it sank. That night, Martin Cole filed the final entry. One name removed. One sequence complete. He stamped the folder. A dry sound. Outside, the city prepared for another night. The turnstiles clicked. The logs reset. The night shift was ready.